first in the resume, we will actually talk the content that must have. Of course, you start with your name and contact information. In the name, you will actually of course put at the top of the page that includes your suffix or title. If you're a safety officer now, you can actually place SO, okay, as one of your suffixes if applicable. Phone number, of course, that they can actually identify you. City address, email address, and related URL, such as LinkedIn. So if you don't have any LinkedIn account, so I encourage you to have one because it's actually very important venue for you to be searched on the LinkedIn. So do's and don'ts in creating your email. Okay. So in creating your email, of course, don't use email that's actually not related to you. No, and then don't use any email that you're in the current company right now. It's not it's actually unprofessional not to do. So this is actually the recommended one. So you just use your full name, okay, and you can actually put numbers naman if you have actually other names that actually same with you, so that you can actually create your account. So the next portion will be education. Okay. So education comes first, no, if it's actually your first time to apply for a job. No related work experience. So if you're transferring from one industry to other, then education may come first. And I want to highlight more. If you actually graduate in a prestigious school, okay, maybe you can actually have it, no, your education first. So of course, it includes the following: the name of the educational institution, the location, date graduated. It's very important to point out when did you graduate, the degree that you actually finished, and other awards, achievements, you can actually include it, and your GWA. Remember, GWA is only applicable, no, to post it on your resume only if you have high remarks. Okay. If you're an average student, okay, you don't need to put your GWA, no, because you can actually the point, no, of posting your grades, no, if it's actually high, no, is to impress, no, your employer. If you're a college graduate, no, please don't include your high school information. Next will be the employment page. So in this part, it's actually interchangeable with education. No, if you have a relevant work experience, then employment should come first. Internships also will be counted. OJTs will be included, no, on your employment. Okay, on all or everything side jobs that you have, as long as you feel it's actually relevant to the job that you applied. If you feel that it's actually going to boost your employability, so any side hustles can be included on your employment. Take note that it includes the name of the company, the location that's actually located, designation and position, date work, and key achievements. Always remember in employment, especially they need to know what you have, no, on those. What is your role for that job? So you need to place your key achievements. Usually, I choose 3 to 5 achievements, no, in your company. For your key achievements, you need to have the following: action verbs, relevant responsibility, and quantifiable example. So ito yung mga common action verbs that you can actually find on the internet. So we have project managing. So if you want to show your managing skills, you may actually use, no, and start on these verbs. If you're trying to show that you're an innovator, you can actually use this one. If you want to show your leadership skills, okay. If you're into budget and sales, if you're good in communication, and you have different achievements, so you can actually use these action verbs. So now, that you posted your information, your education, and basically your employment history. You can also include your skills. So whenever you do upgrades, no, this is actually the portion. Whenever you do up skills, so this is actually the portion where you can actually highlight your skills. So it should be 3 to 5 with bullet points relevant to the work applied, and put remarks if you excel on those skills. So for example, on the left side, so you can see the Chinese Mandarin fluent, German proficient, Microsoft Office proficient. Only put remarks if you're actually fluent, proficient, or actually doing great, no, on those kind of skills. If you don't do anything, no, if you don't excel on that skill, but it's actually part of your skill set, no, don't put such remarks as beginner, okay? No, because it doesn't actually help your employability. Okay? And driver's license is actually one of the important skills, especially, no, most of the companies have different, they need to travel from time to time, so you may include it if you have one. Course, licenses and certifications wherein you can actually have, if you recently passed the board exam, so licensure examinations will do. Certification titles. So any certifications, for example, for this one, so this is actually a certification course, so you have to include, no, on this part of the section, and other trainings and seminars that can be included. So whenever you attend the training and seminars, please take note of those kind of details, because this is actually the portion you can actually put those things. So if you are actually an achiever, so if you have honors and awards, not just in scholastic, but also in your work, so you can actually put this one. And if there are still spaces on your resume, then you can actually put your interests and hobbies. You can actually put at least 3 of relevant to your job apply. So as mentioned early on, so you need to have a relevant URL. Because again, no, resume is just a summary of what you have done so far in your life as you're going into your career. Now, if you there are things that too worthy to share. It's too long to share, no, in a one or two page resume. So this will actually help you, no, to actually post things, no, that you're actually interested into using your relevant URL. So you can also add your personal blog sites if relevant, or portfolio sites. Any relevant URL will actually do, no, for your profile. Sometimes people, no, especially if they created, they maintain their good in Facebook. So they actually have Facebook, no, as included in the relevant URL. Now we are done with the contents of a resume. The formatting naman will be the next to be discussed. In formatting, no, I will just show you general guidelines, no, in formatting. But in terms of formatting, there are a lot of different formats, no. You can have a formal one, black and white, and then a colorful one, a creative one. No? So depende siya sa job na ina-applyan natin, the industries, no, na ina-applyan natin. So for example, if you're applying for no, for a school, no, for example, a scholarship, hindi mo kailangan ng colored resume. They can use actually black and white. For most of the private companies, no, they will have a client too, so important sa kanila yung colored na resume. All in all, resume, no, mirrors, no, reflects your personality, your branding on that. So in terms of formats, you can actually find different formats, no, all over different websites such as Canva, okay, and a lot more websites that you can actually rely on, no, to find different formats of resume. But for starters, no, if you're starting to create one, so please take note of the following. First is the paper size. So paper size should be standard in A4 or letter size. So don't build resume in legal or law paper unless specified. Font style, you can actually use the basic one. Times New Roman, Calibri, or Arial will be considered as a formal kind of font style to be used. In font sizes, please observe ratios, very important. 24 is used especially for your name. For the font size of your names, you need to have a font size, no, 24. For headers, so you will have size 12, and then for the contents you will have size 10. This is actually the recommended font size, then adjust it accordingly. But please take note that you need to prioritize bigger fonts for your name, which basically they want to know you, they need to identify that's you. Then 12 for the header, so that they will actually differentiate it against the other font sizes. Arrangement. So please, as you see on the left side, so I assume that you need to use bulleted. Okay. So because bullet points, no, in a summarized paper, no, will actually help people, no, to keen, no, into that and focus, no, on their information that you're posting. Page number. Okay, for the page number, this is actually a summary. So if you're a first-time job seeker, I'm expecting around 1 to 2 pager of actually of a resume. Okay, so expecting one. So the things people find difficult is that they find creating resume, no, as they just put their informations, then lay it out it, no. Then how will you actually lay it out, no, into 1 to 2 pager resume? That's actually a difficult task to do. Just to share with you, currently even in so basically I'm already around 7 to 8 years in the industry. No, I still have 1 pager resume, no, for now. So I think you can actually consult me on this one, how you can actually try to fit in, no, for your page numbers. So, for the file format, you always use PDF, so your file will not be printed, no, and not edited by other people respectively.